the best piece of advice that I have for Halloween is if your Halloween costume doesn't turn out the way that you plan, you can always use your costume that you had from last year. So then it just makes your life a whole lot easier, because then you don't have to either make the costume or like go out and buy another costume. Always good to have a backup plan. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I know Halloween was yesterday and I did not get around to making this video until today, so I wanted to make this video, and today's video is going to be the story about the time about my Hamtaro Halloween costume didn't work out the way I planned, but I ended up having a backup plan and using my old costume. So this is a story about how I tried to make a costume with my mom, but it was not as easy as we were hoping, and so we decided to scrap that costume and just use my old Halloween costume from the year before. So this is a story just to teach you guys, sometimes if you're making a costume, it can be kind of... Sorry about that. My camera always cuts me off when somebody calls me. So anyway, this is a story about how I was trying to make a Halloween costume, but the idea didn't turn out exactly the way I planned, and it wasn't as easy as I was hoping. So I scrapped that costume and just used my costume I did from the year before just to make it easier. So this is a story just to teach you guys that sometimes when you're trying to make your own costume, it doesn't come out as easy as you expect it. And if it doesn't work out, you can always just use your costume from the year before. It's really not that big of a deal that if you have your costume from last year. And plus, you can always just use it in case none of your costumes work out the way you planned. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So this all started about 20 years ago. I was in the 5th grade. I was really excited. It was around Halloween, and so I had a big idea for my costume for Halloween. I wanted to be the character Pashmina from Hamtaro. I'm sure you guys all know Pashmina. She's the little hamster with the pink scarf if you watch Hamtaro. It was a really cute idea, and I was really excited. I had it planned to wear face makeup, and I had a pink scarf that I had crocheted shade, and it was my own crocheted scarf, which I was so excited about. And I wish I still had that scarf to show you guys. I think I got rid of it. It was my first scarf it was the second scarf I had ever crocheted, and I was really, really excited. And so my mom had gotten materials from, I think, like Joann's or Michael's, and she got like all this, like these big pieces of felt to make my costume, and she was helping me make it. So I was working with her on it. I was to cut out the size of the hamster, and then I was gonna cut out like the ears and everything, but the felt was a little difficult to cut, and we were trying to put it together. Like, we couldn't sew the felt. I don't know why we couldn't sew the felt. It was probably like come apart or something. I don't know why we didn't sew it, but it was like a squishy felt, and so we decided to staple it, but it was not as easy as we expected. So we kept trying to staple it, and it didn't really work because the staples were not staying in the felt, and so it was not working out the way we planned, and it started to be a pain. So my mom's like, why don't you try using your costume from last year? And the year before, I was a 50s girl, and I was like, you know, Mom, that does sound like a much better idea, because this is not as easy as we expected it to be. So I pull out my 50s girl costume. I think I still have it. It's somewhere in either the basement or maybe my dress-up box, but it was this 50s girl costume, and it was a pink skirt, and it was a white and black top, and it had like a little poodle on it. It was like a poodle skirt costume. So that was like my little costume I had from last year, so I thought that'd be a good idea. And my mom put pigtails and put ribbons in my hair, and so I thought this was just a much better idea than my costume idea I had, and it was just worked out just as well because everybody really liked the costume that I wore for Halloween. And it also made it easier because we didn't have to make the costume. So the moral of the story is, when it's not always as easy to make your own costume as you think it is, especially if you're gonna make it from scratch and you're just gonna like staple it and whatever, and you're trying to make a costume exactly like a certain character from a TV show, and it's not working out. Always look in your dress-up box or costume stash or whatever you still have for Halloween costumes, and you can still use it as long as it fits you, and it'll work just as well as your costume, or even work better than your costume idea that you had. So just keep in mind, when you're putting a costume together, always make it a lot easier on yourself, because if you make it a pain, then you're not going to want to do it. But in case your costume is a pain to make, just look through your leftovers of your Halloween costumes that you have from a year before or so, and you can just use. So that was the story of my Hamtaro Halloween costume gone wrong. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope this video taught you that when your first Halloween costume idea doesn't work out like you planned, always just have a backup and use your Halloween costume you had from the year before or so, and it'll work just as well as and you don't have to also buy the materials. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye! Before exiting this video, make sure you subscribe